Okay, Ois Dalet again. We're in the middle of Ois Dalet. So I'm not going to learn inside again, just to finish it. No. We're halfway through Ois Dalet. So, as we pointed out, everything, Elikus, the Eibishter is one, and therefore his revelation and even revelations are all integrated and all one. So all levels that we identify in the I guess the specific sense exists in the general sense, and the opposite is also true. So in the same way that we have Atzilas Bri, Tzirasiya in the specific Elamus, as you know, and we've encountered this many times, there's Abiyad Chlolos, there's Atzilas Bri, Tzirasiya, it spans beyond Atzilas, the entire gamut of divine revelation. And so it's true, the Chalal of all revelations and attributes exist. And I saw it, so say the things devolve, exist in higher levels and in lower levels. And so the classic answer, that Yossi Davis would be frustrated as a Bach. He would ask a question. In one Maimon it says that this Madreg is this. Another Maimon says that the same Indian is another Madreg. What was the answer that Mashbiya would say? It's Ventzach. That's like such a word. It depends where the context.
And Yossi would say it's all a setup.
The setup he would say that's a cop out. The setup he would say is Bchira is all the setup, even much bigger thing. But yes, it all ties in. The emphasis it is Ventzach from Barat. That's the point. Okay, so therefore, the Gimel Madreg is speaking here in the Bittel of Ur. The Bittel itself, the Bittel that its source is felt. That's number 2. Number 3, the Bittel expressed in the desire to be incorporated in the source. So this is reflected in the Sfiras. And what are the Sfiras? From the bottom up, Bina, Chachman, Keser. So we learned about Bina and Chachma. So Bina obviously is the Eir Mitzad Atzmai. Because Bina is already the emphasis on the Keli, the Eir Mislabish in the Keli. It's analysis. Let's remember who we're talking about. Who are we talking about, friends, in this Maimer? Yeah, good. We're talking about the Eibishter. So Bina means an appreciation of the Eibishter. It's a Keli already. Because Bina is the chibur of the Eir and the Keli. So that's the first Madrege. Eir and Keli. Chachma, what's Chachma? Both Chachma and Keser is going to say our connection to not so much the emphasis on the Keli, but the pure revelation itself. Please tell me how we see this in Bina. Okay, Bina, we understand that Bina is the emphasis on the Keli, the emphasis, but
why are you saying? I know it's saying over here in the Keli, but in the beginning of the Mimer, where he starts speaking about these 3 things, he says, "Gimel Dregas Bittel the Misad Atzmei who me'ein amar." Doesn't really emphasize much of the Keli that he's speaking about over here in Bina.
It's entirely the Keli. This Keli, this Eir, what is it? It's not the object itself, as we were repeating, and it's not the object itself, it's how the object is seen.
Okay, perceived. Okay, got it.
Yeah. That's what the image is, that's what the light is. Okay, so that's Bina. Now, you tell me, friends, so why is Chachma, he's going to say that both Chachma and Keser correspond to the next 2 levels of Eir. First, tell me what they are. Just use the language of the mind without any hasbara. The next level of the Eir is that the Eir feels, there's the sense of the Moker. And third level, the desire to unite totally. So that he's going to say now corresponds to Chachma and Keser. We already did Chachma. So you tell me the connection to Chachma. He's not Chachma, it's also Keli. Chachma is the first sphere of Elam Atzilus. So what is the essential difference, the fundamental difference between the Keli and the sphere of Chachma and the sphere of Bina? How are you going to possibly explain this? No one ever took you there. How are you going to even explain this to me? What are you going to draw on? You never took a vacation to Chachma Tatzila, so how do you know? Not even for a visit. So how do you know, have any inkling of what it means?
We have this within us.
Oh, so you can understand why Chacham is within us and Bin is within us, and that will give us an inkling, a parallel, because Bemis is more than the inkling, because we work because we devolve from these levels. So there's a real connection. Al Kaponim, now having said that, think about what means Chacham b'nefesh. I didn't get the Kessi yet, but now Chachma, and how that corresponds to Nirgish by Mekairoi, which he said at the beginning of this ice, is the latter two levels, and Nirgish by Mekairoi, that it feels the source, and the desire to be one with the source, that's our connecting to Oir higher than Ishtalshalos, higher than Islapshus and Kalim. So I'm asking you, but the first level is Oiris and Kalim. Good, that's Bina. Bina is a Kali, is some level of otherness that is appreciating God. And what is Chachma not also that? What's the difference? It's a Svira. Why is he saying in there that Chachma and Tzadikes is connected to the Oir higher than Islapshus and Kalim? No, it's nothing mysterious.
Chachma was bittul to the idea it's working. So to recognize that this is something way beyond itself. In Bina, it's already an analysis within Bina. But in Chachma, this is trying to touch something that's beyond itself, like Karachma. It's a bittul to it.
Just 1 second. You're trying to understand the concept. It's beyond you. It's not beyond you.
First in Chachma, it's already, we don't know what the idea is yet.
In what sense is it beyond you? What happens to the person at that moment of Chachma? What state is the person in? Let's use some English words and describe it. Describe this to a McGill student.
He perceives the reality without being able to put it into words.
It's true, but I'm asking is describe the person's.
He's in awe.
You tell me what he does.
He's in awe.
He's in awe of it. He
gets the idea.
It's all true. I'm trying to get this in the Kudah here that the Maimar is saying that it's a connection to the Oir that is higher than its lapshus, and it's a much deeper level of bittul. The emphasis not being the keli. The person in the moment of Chachma, what I'm looking for there's an element of overwhelmed. In that moment, that eureka moment, when all of a sudden the epiphany, the discovery, all the circuits are blown. Not blown and they'll never recover, but blown as in the truth in its pristine glory, all of a sudden just flashed, illuminated like a lightning, a moment where there'd been previously total darkness, absolute light. What was the example that we give? Physical example. Huh? Yeah, but saying more detail to the light bulb. Being in an unfamiliar dark room. You came in blindfolded. And for a second, and you want to get out, just looking for the door, whatever. But you just want to know where you are. So the second that it goes on off, that second, everything in that room is, it's not you haven't assimilated a single detail. You can't say a word about it. So an idea too, which is a better illustration, the world of ideas, you're struggling with something, all of a sudden, I got it. At that moment, there's someone, they see it, they see all of a sudden, like you're transfixed, you don't see You don't see. And if they go, what? You'll be very upset because you're going to lose it. If you're going to be distracted by someone else, explain what just happened over. Why? Because at that moment, the person is a complete state. He's bittul. What's happening in that head? The Eira Chochma is, the truth is illuminated. Bin is already a different world. Bin is Malachshan Binyan, building. In the illustration we gave, the light went on and off. Now it kind of closes his eyes. What did I just see? And pieces it all together. Tries to, as much as possible, recreate the image, bit by bit. Hence, Chachma is connected to that which is higher than Islapshus. That's the words of the Maimon. General higher than Ishtalshalus. Truth. And that's why he said, just throw this in, please, something you do with Elikim. Find it in the middle of the Ois. In the middle of the Ois, we spoke about the Kabbalah Svarim, the Sidurim, middle of that, number 25. That's what do you say about Bina? That's why. Yeah. Can you explain what that means? He says it himself in the next words. For those who are listening, Yudke Vovke, Bechlal. Let's just give, I didn't say this when we learned this, so just more background. Yudke Vovke has layers and layers of meaning. First of all, there's Havai Del Eila, Havai Del Sata, there's the high Yudke Vovke, the lower one, as expressed in, we said, we didn't say it's Lichas, not yesterday. Hashem Karach Machanan is, it's very unusual to refer to God twice. There's one God, and one doesn't have. Hashem, like you didn't get it the first time. What's this repetition? Without Chassidus, it's hard to understand. But Havai de Le'ela, Havai de Le'sato, there's two levels. But Yudke Vovke, in the lower level of Yudke Vovke, it spans the whole gamut of Ishtalshalus, 10 Sfiras, and for that matter, the 4 Elamas. Yud Zatzilus, and Hey is Bri, and Vav is Yitzira, the final Hey is Asiya. And then Atzilus Gufa, it's the 10 Sfiras. Yud is Chachma, and Hey is Bin, and Vav is the 6 Midas, and the final Hey is Malchus. Right? So it's very generic. So when this name appears in davening, exactly what's God revealing? What's the emphasis? Is the Yud, is it the K, the Vav, the Hey, which Madrege? So the Nikud, the vowels underneath the Yud Ke Vav Ke, you don't pronounce it that way. But the Kabbalah, the vowels are telling you what darga it is. I think the Sidurim here, the Svat Sidurim have this. Every time Hashem's name appears, or for that matter, even the Lekim to some degree, or Yud Ke is a different vowel. So Bina, how is Bina conveyed when Yud Ke Vav Ke, when Hashem is revealing primarily the divine revelation of Bina, which means a relationship where I want you to appreciate me. I want your bittul of Chachma too, but don't get stuck there because the Kavan is Dira B'tachtonim. It's going to come down into your appreciation all the way down to the final hey, your behavior. So if the Yud Ke Vav Ke, when it has the Nikud of Elokim, is a Segrel, Elokim underneath the letters, that's Bina. Why? Because it's exactly what Bina is, that the Oyer being contained in the, appreciated by the Keli, which is Shem Elikim. Clear?
You find the same thing in Tehillim. In Tehillim is more people.
Tehillim, you see that? Yeah, even the standard Tehillims.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's go by the number 26. Yeah, let's continue. That was Bina. It's good to see everybody this morning. It's a wonderful turnout here, both here physically and on Zoom. Gives me chayas, what can I tell you? I thought after the fast, people exhausted would be really less. And anyway, Wednesday's a slump day, midweek. Nafal Piken, the Elam is here. It's a very good thing. So that's bina. Now, by the number 26, everybody has it in the text. Yeah. Unless you want to close the door there. Thank you. So bina is oir bislapshus. The oir which is higher, be'etzim, you're connecting to that which is higher than kelim. Avo begeder islapshus. This is, but what does begeder islapshus mean? What does gather mean? Let's get the word gather straight.
Possibility.
First, literally. No. That's important to know.
Fence.
Yeah, there's a fence. A fence. What does a fence mean? That marks off a contained area. That's what a fence means. It borders. So begeder means belongs to the category of. There's some connection to the category of whatever we're talking about. This is a term that's used in Igla also. Begeder. If something is, so it means category. That's what we mean. You could say level too, but it's also fair. But Geder implies more a contained. A level can imply some openness. A Geder implies it's contained. Like a fence. A fence that surrounds an area completely, creating a reshus unto itself. So Chochmah, on the other hand, is that moment of epiphany. He can't say anything. He has no words. He sees the embers of the idea, but it's begeder islapshus. This idea can be articulated and will be the next 2 minutes by this guy. The next 5 minutes. He starts to think about it. It's high. To put it that way, maybe it's higher, but it belongs to the category in the end. It's not beyond its category. It's not outside the world of Islapshus. It's begeder. It means it means practically it will be. This idea will be translated faithfully in bina, in words and in structure. And if the person analyzes properly, then he will not lose the nekuda. It's possible, by the way, to get into analysis and corrupt the whole nekuda and go somewhere else. Havein b'chachma, that's a Sefer Yitzir, a famous quote Chassidus brings. Nekuda beichola, the nekuda in the heichal. The heichal is bina, and the nekuda is chachma. So lashon hazayah. So it's begeder slapsha. So that's chachma. The idea is not it's not infinite. It's an idea. But at the moment of chachma, there are no words for it yet. It's just the truth of the idea. Now the truth of the idea is going to be spelled out in language and words that accurately convey the truth of the idea. So it's begeder islapshus. Bina is absolute islapshus. The whole world of bina is words and language and construct. Bina is feminine. Chachma is the seed. Bina is the analysis. The feet is being developed. Then third level, which parallels what the third level of Ur we're talking about. We'll revisit that, but let's get here in this context. And a revelation that's beyond even, it fundamentally cannot be contained. It just remains. And I see him just glancing ahead. Very, very deep, beautiful hasbara. And what this means, that this is a oir which is l'mayne begedish lapshus, and that's the level of kesed, the parallel within the nefesh, and we'll see what that means. This maimon is like, whoa. I was discussing a bit with Zalman, but he wasn't in it because he remembers when they were learning yeshiva. This was challenging and very, everybody was all hopping to understand it. The Zehu, it's a pity there's no one who wrote up any of Rabbi El's abuse. And on tape, there's I just didn't have the time to listen to the tape. Okay, v'zehu shabitul the das elyon v'zehu, and this is conveyed in the following: shabitul the das elyon, revisiting Chachma now. So when you tell me, friends, he says das elyon. What does he contrasting das elyon with? The supernal upper knowledge. Simple translation, as in contrast to das tachten. Where is this somewhere rooted in the pasuk? Where does this come from? There's a high knowledge and lower knowledge. Yeah, Kel Deis Havaya. God is the God of knowledges. Knowledge isn't enough. So the illusion is taka two truths, das elyon and das tachten. And you tell me just overall the difference between the two. One is in simple English language, the perspective, two perspectives, one from above to below, and the other, the perspective, right. So and this is this is the meaning why that the bitl of das elyon, which is what? Shekula can make Lachoshech, all before him is of no significance whatsoever. What level expresses das elyon or dafke b'chachma? He just finished Kesef, he's going back to Chachma now. This is the level of Chachma, Shalamayim Bina, that's higher than Bina. Why? Bina does not convey das elyon. Bina is all about my appreciation. The starting point is the self in Bina, to whatever refined degree, but that's what Bina is. The starting point of Chachma is not, I want to understand, that's true, but what happens in Chachma? What happened to this epiphany moment? The emphasis is the deep desire. I need to understand this. That's really the deep desire compels to well up from the koyach hamaskil, which is the level that never just knows the truth, because this is a divine entity, to burst, as it were, and illuminate the mind with the answer. So that moment is not das tachten. I've grasped it. It's rather I've received this truth. Now, what caused that? At the end of the day, it's the deep desire to understand. It's the gib and nefesh. You'll figure it out. What's the famous hayom yom I'm referring to? If it's negib and nefesh, you'll have the most fantastic original ideas and solutions. The yom yom that he addresses the house the greatest tanoim, their minds are, friends were like, so they're presenting arguments that a woman will argue in the ksubah. She could argue like this and argue like that. She can come up with such brilliant ideas and arguments and defenses and whatever. The answer is, yeah, what's negate to you, you become very creative.
Moishe Belenker also, the Hayom from Moishe Belenker, that he worked, he expanded his mind. Yeah.
That example really is Kusha Lepler. Because here Lepler, Moishe Belenker was a prodigious intellect to begin with, and he expanded it. Okay. But Kusha Lepler was a simple Jew. He was a well-to-do businessman that dealt in salt. I told you the story. Time of the Mittel Rebbe, and the Mittel Rebbe instructed his Chassidim whenever they come to Lubavitch, there and back, they had to Chazak Chassidus. And these young Galite are talking. He doesn't understand what they're saying, and he was so envious. And he embarked on a serious portion of Tanesim and Avodah, and begging the Eibishter and seeking advice, guidance from the Mittel Rebbe. In the end, he became Uzge. His mind became from the big Maskilim, one of the greatest exponents of Chassidus. What started the whole thing? The desire, I need to know. Okay, we're digressing. But all to bring out that the moment of Chachma, the moment is, it's not a seichel thing. It's not I figured it out. It's more, he's a keli for the truth to illuminate, to well up from the place within the soul, the keich hamaskil that just intuitively knows truths. So that's what that's das Elyon. Who dafke b'chachma shalamayne mi'abina. Yeah, bittul the koloch hashiv. This bittul that everything compared to Hashem, there's no comparison. Because the source is felt. Whereas in Bina, it's very much the self, right? So this bittul is expressed in Chachma. His Chachma is a level that is connecting to the transcendent truth of Elikus. But it's still begathered that I'm appreciating this, and it will come down from Chachma to Bina into an articulated appreciation of the Eibishter. That is what Chachma. So Chachma, we got now a new piece of information to put on, Das Elyon, Das Tachten, Bina, Das Elyon Chachma. Yeah? Now Keser. Va'bitl shebekeser, Oishlamayim Meged, Oishlamaylo Megeder Islapshus. Both are higher than Ishtalshalis, but Chachma is Begeder Islapshus, and Keser is Lamayin Megeder Islapshus. So who bitl Naili Yose Gami Abitl the Chachma. It's higher even than the bitl of Chachma. Shabitl the Chachma who abitl. This is a word here from Tanya. Famous words from Tanya, Perek Lamed Hey, in the Hagor. The footnote, the side note, as it were. So there he says that the bitl of Chachma is habitl to hul of vadai hu ve'inzalose. He alone is he, and there's nothing beside him. That would seem like the ultimate. That's why he says that. Actually, he says there in that ha'orah that Chachma is the keli for himself. However, it's habitl the ein or ayin. There is nothing like him. So we're just saying there's nothing, but ein zelos. You're acknowledging the notion of otherness, but ein zelos. But keser habitl the efes, zero. Keser, not there's nothing. Ayin. Ayin means nothing. But if you're invoking nothing, you're saying there is the gather of thing. There's no thing. Whereas we just finished. 1 second. The bitl of Kesed is the bitl of the F is absolute God, the only reality. Period. Now, the rest of the Maimon friends, he's going to explain this for us. We shouldn't try now to try and fully grasp it because, but just get that generally question. Yeah.
Acknowledges that there's another. That's what you said.
It's choshev, but not choshev like him. There's kula, kamein, kurloi choshev. Yeah, like we said before. That's right. Okay, if we're getting the geography of the levels, we're doing okay. We have a little bit of understanding, we're doing okay. But the Maimon is going to explain it further for us. Let's go further. It just occurred that maybe we should learn the whole different way. As a first to learn it just to get the ICS and the geography without any hasbara. Period. Not stopping it, explain it. As long as you get the geography, that's got to be clear. Then learn it a second time with the benefit of having learned the Maimer already and having the ICS, and then seeking to understand and also to appreciate how the understanding deepens over the course of the Maimer. Because I'm trying to explain things, as soon as we encounter the words that we just said before, preempts to some degree what the Maimer is going to say later. So, but the way I do that is, otherwise I'm going to come here, I've just heard words and walk away with nothing. So I don't know which way is the better way. one thing's for sure, if you learn the Maimah after we've learned it, with the benefit of what we've learned, and then you learn the whole thing from beginning to end, and then the mind will start to illuminate and come together. You're all very busy, but Shabbos, really, that's the time, at least Shabbos. Now the Shabbosim are longer, they're getting shorter, but still many hours to the Shabbos. Well, it wouldn't be so terrible in the morning. You know, you guys, okay, you're busy with kids, okay, if not in the morning. So the davening, you daven longer and go in the corner, and learn the Maimer, and then daven. Lo nora. I will be with the Kiddush and the Fabreng, and we'll figure it out. Huh? Wouldn't be so terrible. That's after hearing Kiryas HaTorah and doing all the things you have to do, but you're davening later. Let the Maimer first, then you'll daven. Or the Maimer before davening. Okay. Right, so V'yashleim will continue tomorrow. I'll continue today's